Hi, I'm Chuck Marundi and welcome to my video series on buying and selling real estate in Sequim and Port Angeles. One of the very first documents you'll use is the purchase and sale agreement. Now there are a number of other documents that may be attached to that purchase and sale agreement as addendums, and we'll talk about those later. But the first document and the primary document is the purchase and sale agreement. As we used to say in law school, when you draft an offer, you are the master of the offer, which means that you write down and offer a purchase price, the terms of the transaction, and a target closing date. Now once that is all drafted, and I want to talk a little bit more about the details of the purchase and sale agreement and how you're going to structure it and what kinds of issues are important. But when that is submitted to the seller, obviously the seller has the right to accept, reject, or counter. Now, as you might know, in this market, most sellers are countering. They're countering especially with the price. And that's a big issue right now. We'll talk about how to deal with that at a practical level and what I've learned from the School of Hard Knocks that might be of help to you when you're buying or making an offer on a house. The purchase and sale agreement. This is what the residential purchase and sale agreement looks like in the state of Washington, at least for most of the counties. Of course, there's a lot of sections that we fill in here. As I say, these are standard forms. Still, they've got to be filled in correctly. And we've got a lot of particulars, including the closing date as well as the purchase date and so on. And you can see we have a lot of addendum items that would be included depending on your transaction. This is just a partial list. One of the important ones, of course, is the financing addendum. You may also have a septic addendum or a well addendum, which is Form 22R, you can see, and 22S. And when you make an offer, your earnest money will be included. There are a lot of other clauses here that deal with how earnest money is handled and how other closing costs are handled, how they're apportioned. All of this is part of your negotiation. Now I'm going to say something that probably seems quite obvious, but get it wrong and you could really have some problems in your transaction. You've got to have all of the right documents. So as you start to make an offer, you need to know, apart from the purchase and sale agreement, what addendums and what other issues do you really need to cover in your offer. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, I want to say that it's really, really important that you draft unambiguous language in your documents. This is a very common problem, and it's probably one of the reasons lawyers are so busy. Documents that are ambiguous or create uncertainty can create conflict and arguments between buyer and seller. You don't want to go there. I'm thankful that one of the things that is on my resume and my background is 20 years as a real estate attorney. So drafting clear and concise language that is unambiguous and clearly presents your intent without any possible confusion on the part of the seller, that's very important in your documents. One of my goals here in sharing these videos with you on drafting documents for your next home is to keep you out of trouble. The idea is, when you find the right home, when you find the ideal home, you want to be able to draft an offer that is clean, concise, unambiguous, address all of the issues that need to be addressed, and if there are issues that come up during the inspection period, then those things need to be handled or negotiated appropriately with the seller. There may be things that need to be fixed, there may be credits that need to be applied at closing. You may have to go out and find some proof and get some estimates to justify what you're asking the seller to do. But all of those things need to go smoothly, and if you have professional realtors on both sides with experience, then those things will go smoothly. I want to help you get through the process by using good documents, the right documents, clear and unambiguous language, and get to closing by handling all of the transaction details appropriately. This ought to be an exciting and fun event for you, buying your retirement home in Sequim and Port Angeles, getting to closing without conflict and excess stress and anxiety, that's a key to enjoying the process. So that's part of my goal here in this. I hope this video series is helpful to you. And by the way, you can always reach me at sequimrealestatenews.com. You'll find my email and my phone number there. I'd love to help you if I can.